how do you get a show on Netflix?
How do you get a show on Netflix?
A stand-up comedy joint. Do you
everybody wants a show on Netflix, but I would say why?
No, I'm just asking you because
I'm saying like it's in getting that, right? It's not about getting it. You can get on any platform, but what's your reason, right? Like what's the reason for it? So with this younger generation of comedians, you got to understand that the comedy special game and world is not what it once was, right? Everything changes. There's obstacles and there's periods. When you think about, there was a time where the HBO special was the biggest thing you can get, right? And when you look at the comedians that were fortunate and blessed enough to get an HBO special back in the day, it was the biggest thing ever for them. The HBO specials then changed and Comedy Central got into the space. Comedy Central gave out half-hour specials and hour specials. If you got a half-hour special, hour special on Comedy Central, you would be in a rotation and you would be seen. It propels some careers. Right. Okay, wow, the world of specials seems like it's growing. Now Netflix came and Netflix gave a different idea of what a comedy special should be. And the comedians that did specials on that platform, in the beginning, it was a lot. Some were seen, some weren't. But Netflix's identity was all based off of the foundation of stand-up comedy in the beginning. They were redefining the world of stand-up comedy. And then they started to get a whole bunch of other content, right? But then they said, fuck it. We're going to go out. We're going to get the biggest comedians. We're going to get them to do specials. And we're going to make the specials special again. Not that they weren't. They said, we're going to make them special again. Right. So they threw this money at them. And a bigger comedian said, fuck it. We're going to do it. So they got Chappelle, Rock, myself, Louis C.K., Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes, Jerry Seinfeld, Ellen DeGeneres. Like the biggest names in comedy went there and they started doing them. But now everybody else started getting specials. So now the world of comedy specials, it's there, but they're not as special. They're not as special because everyone isn't in demand. That's not a bad thing. Like you work to get in demand. You need to be seen to put asses in the seats. But where do you go that has the best impact for you? So for the younger generation of comics, that Netflix special that they may want, it may not be the best decision for them because they're in a much more valuable position today because owning your material, your IP is easier to do because of the freedom and how you control your content. Art, your content, right? Like you're talking about, like when you go down Just Hilarious and DC Young Fly and Davis, like you're talking about Desi Banks. You're talking about people who embraced the world of social media, built the following off of social media, and did it by managing and operating and controlling the content that they put out. So now going to the stand-up special space, they could mimic that. Maybe they could shoot it themselves. Maybe they could sell it, license it. There's a different type of conversation. So they don't have to go the route that most went. Their decisions now are a little different because their opportunities that present themselves are different. So I would say for them, it's about understanding the business more for them. And I talk to them. I give them all these tidbits. I'm the guy that wants them to win. So, you know, when you have that following that they've developed, and they have the dollar because they go out and they make their money as well, shooting it, completing it, and going and packaging it and licensing it or seeing if you can sell it, whatever it is for you, that becomes the road to victory. It's not just about being on Netflix just to be on Netflix. Right now, the business of the business is just as important as the talent. So you have to make sure you weigh those options properly. And, you know, maybe your first special sets up the next one. But there's several different platforms that you can go to.
That's why I'm always one to say, no, let's shoot this shit ourselves. And because how many platforms out here begging for content? And they throwing money around.
Oh, he's a content man. He got a lot.
So if you could pay for your own content and take it to the places,
retain your IP.
Your money is a lot different because
if you have an audience, right? You what you guys have here. It's so dope because you now developed a brand. What started off as just a dope ass podcast with a name in the back of it has now become a brand. So the brand, this is a brand. $1 million worth of game becomes a brand. And you can elevate that brand however you choose, right? And the brand has tentacles and it becomes tiered. So now the podcast of you two It's here, but if you think, you guys were underneath Barstools. Barstools started off as a podcast or a radio show with, and then they got bigger and they kept on putting other shows underneath it. So now Barstools, the brand, is a hub that embeds the media of all this stuff under here. This is growing into the same.
Yes.
So when you understand the business and the business that you're creating, you got a following. Well, now your bargaining chips are different.
Yes.
Everybody can't have the same conversation at the table. No. Everybody wants to, but they can't. No. Right? So your conversation is different, and my conversation that I can have is different because we come with different value. So our leverage within the value is where we negotiate at a high level. To the younger talent that has the following in social media, there's value because they have an audience. So if they do things and they embed it and finish it and complete it and say, well, my audience shows that they'll show up to see this, I would much rather license it and own it. Now you can get a licensing fee, or you can say, I want to sell it. Whatever it is, you're making a better decision for you and your brand. But it's the understanding of how to do that. And there's never been a more valuable time to do it in than now. You know, I'm a full-fledged media business.
Yeah.
I'm into the business more than I'm into being a talent now.